Hello everyone, welcome to Grammar with Gitanjali. Today we are going to learn about the differences between defining relative clauses and non-defining relative clauses. The first thing we need to know is defining relative clauses give essential information about someone or something. It is the information that we need in order to understand what or who is being referred to. For example, in this particular sentence, the soldier who had gold strips on his uniform seemed to be the most important. In this sentence, who had gold strips on his uniform is the defining relative clause. If we omit this information, it is hard to decide which soldier we are actually talking about. Who is the soldier who seemed to be the most important? We cannot answer these questions. So remember that defining relative clauses cannot be omitted. On the other hand, non-defining relative clauses, they provide extra information about the person or thing. Now, since it is not the necessary information, we don't need it to understand who or what is being referred to. For example, in this sentence, Ellen, who scored 3 goals in the first game, was the only player to perform well. In this sentence, who scored 3 goals in the first game is non defining relative clause. Even if we omit this information, it is very clear who was the only player to perform well. Ellen was the only player to perform well. So remember, defining relative clauses cannot be omitted. They provide necessary information, and non defining relative clauses can easily be omitted as they are there just to provide extra information. Another difference. Another difference is that, let's take this example. In case of relative, defining relative clauses, we can use the relative pronouns who, whom, which, and that. Whereas in case of non-defining relative clauses, we cannot use the relative pronoun that. It is absolutely wrong to use relative pronoun that in case of non-defining relative clause. Coming over to the third difference, see, while writing a sentence, please remember that you got to use commas around non defining relative clauses. Just like in this sentence, Claire, who I work with, is doing London is doing the London Marathon this year. In this sentence, who I work with is non-defining relative clause, and you need to use comma around it. Whereas in case of defining relative clause, you are not supposed to use commas. For example, this is the man who takes his responsibilities seriously. In this sentence, if who takes his responsibility seriously is the defining relative clause, and I am not supposed to use commas around it. It would be wrong to use commas. So I really hope that you are clear with the difference between defining and non-defining relative clauses. If you feel that this video has added some information to your knowledge, then please don't forget to share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.